the birds. I'm living the dream, crew. I'm absolutely living the dream. How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another video. It is Wednesday. No, it's Friday. Golly. But, Flo's dropping a deuce. Nah, it's just a wee. We're all good. So today, I don't have work. So as you can see, we've slept in. Last night, work finished very late. And you know what? As things are really ramping up, I'm learning more and more about how much of a game this recovery is, right? Like, you've got to mentally and physically be ready to go again tomorrow. So, took the chance, had a good sleep. It's 8:30 in the morning now. We are just heading to the park. Going to throw the ball for Flo for a bit before we head home, jump on the bike, and we're going to head out for 5 hours along the beach. Then we're going to come home. We've got a 20-minute run off the bike, and then we're heading to the pool for a swim. So, that's our day. Let's go, crew. Flo. Flo. Hello. Florency. What you up to? Hey. You in the pool? Flo, why are you being boring? She's really gotten camera shy, clearly. Oh, is she about to... Yep, look away, crew. She's about to do some business. Quick, get! There we go. So we are just making our way through the back streets now. It's going to be about a 45-minute to an hour ride before we get to the beach. And then, yeah, we're going to start rolling down the beach. We'll probably get to about Dramana in the return 5 hours. So she's all just cruisy. Enjoy. It's going to be a warm one today, 32, but feels really humid. So you're probably wondering, why do you have a delay on then, Jay? Honestly, it's for you guys. I hope you're thankful, because I've got to take this camera equipment around. Not that it's big, it's a lot easier with a delay. So if I'm pass out from like heat stroke and sweat, it's because of you guys, okay? So in my bottles, I've got 1,500 milligrams of electrolytes in each 1 litre bottle. And then we'll fill up our water again in about Mornington. So that'll be enough to get me through. And then I've only got about like 45 grams of carbs per hour, which honestly for an easy ride is plenty. Here we are, Beach Road. We've made it. That took about 50 minutes. Now we're just gonna cruise. How good, sun's out. This is what it's all about, crew. Preparing for an Ironman, summer, long days. We are an hour and 23 into the ride. We're sitting at an average of 221 watts, just cruising, enjoying the flats. I haven't done like a long, just all easy ride down here for quite a while. Every time I'm coming down here, it's for some solid intervals. So it's nice to just cruise. Next week, this ride has four 20-minute Ironman effort intervals in it over 5 hours. I think with only like a couple minutes rest between. So this first one is just because we've upped from 4 hours. The long rides have been 4 hours, so we're up into 5 hours now. So this is the way Cam's done things really well, is always making sure my body adapts and always making sure I have the capacity to train the next day and train really well, right? So everything's been done very gradually. We don't just go from the 4-hour straight to 6-hour, which I really like, and it's paying dividends, that consistency, that ability to recover. One of the other things I think that's been really fundamental and key changes, which Cam and I were only chatting about yesterday, is because yesterday I had a really good run. I did 5 by 2K at 3:35 pace on 2-minute easy between, and they were very controlled efforts. They certainly, fucking hell. So one of the key things has been, I have developed a lot of trust in Cam. Like, the results are showing for themselves. So I have a lot of trust in him. I have a lot of trust that we're on the right path, and I'm going to get to where I want to get to. And so that actually has a fundamental change on how I train. I think as well, especially after having a couple good race results late last year, what this means is I can go into sessions like I used to go into sessions, right? You can go back, watch my old videos, and for those that have been following along for a long time, you'll see, is I used to have to really get myself fired up, really mentally, physically prepared. Every, night before, I'd be getting anxious, and honestly, almost every one of my sessions had like death work in it. Like, I really thought you had to go to the well. Like, the more you go to the well in training, the better you'll be going to the well on race day. And like, I don't need to do that anymore. Like, I'm finding like I'm more capable going to the well when I go less often, because like I've done that my whole life. Like, pushing myself is not a problem, as I've talked about previously. Like, when I was young and had an eating disorder, I used to have to make myself vomit after every run. Like, pushing myself to that point, like pushing myself, I'll do it all day long, any day. But when you're doing that constantly, that mental energy it takes to keep getting yourself to the limit, like when you feel like you need to prove yourself every training session, like I have to hit this power, I have to hit this pace. Like, our bodies, things happen. We have life stresses, especially when, those of us who are age groupers and work basically full time. Like, we have things that go on, so not every day will be the same, and your body will react differently every day. So one thing Cam has done really well is like, everything is effort based, or we have a goal from each session and we execute that goal. It's not a specific pace, power, heart rate. It's find that zone, find that place. That's where we hit. And so I can go into each session and go, what's my body got today? We go. When we need to work, we work. And then we move on to the next session. And whether it's good, bad, or normal, it's another session done. And so if things are going bad for a few days, well, we know we need to change things up. And if you're not pushing yourself at all, then you're probably going too easy. So I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to you guys, but yeah, like, you'll see how much I used to have to get myself into the zone and really smash. And yes, I definitely still do that when the time's necessary and in the session. No point mentally wearing yourself out in the day or hours prior to a tough session. We do what we can, we move on to the next, and that allows us to train more, train harder. So for example, yesterday, that run session, it was programmed as 90% RPE, and just find the pace that is sustainable for all of them, and make sure that you could do at least one more after the last one. And so that's just run by effort, and the pace will be what it will be. And so yeah, what that allows you as well is to, when your body's good, you can get more out of the session rather than just hitting a certain pace that might have been below what I could have hit had I known more of the reasoning behind the session, and that's key. Know why you're doing each session, and you'll get more out of each session. We are on the way back now. Oh. Inhaled a bit of my fruit bar thing. I tell you what, she is toasty now. Just along this stretch of road, it's just reflecting up off the bitumen. We're 3 hours in, 92k, we're on the way. Whew, she toasty. All right, I couldn't help it. I've stopped. It's icy cold. Just little 250ml Coke. Wait, can't open it. I need 2 ends. Oh, that is the biz. I just have one of the funniest interactions. Also, there's the bike. She looks good, doesn't she? The blue Mamba. I just had one of the funniest interactions. The dude in the petrol station, you always get some characters. Anyway, this dude just told me he's very frustrated about some of the other employees and their stapling of receipts. And I just got like a 10-minute spiel about how frustrated he is about it. Anyway, I thought that's funny. I love trying to make friends with like fuel attendant workers because I feel like a lot of them are really friendly because they're just constantly seeing people and like they're really good at small talk, a lot of them. Anyway, funny little interaction. I'll sink this and we'll get back on the road. We are 3 hours 55 in average 218 watts, 122k. Yeah, keep cruising, enjoying the sun. How good is this? We've got about 20 minutes left, just heading through these back streets to get home. It's nice to have a bit of shade in the trees. The trees through here are just stunning at the moment, so green. It's beautiful. Look at that one, massive. Just about to get home. Beautiful trees, more beautiful trees. I'm loving it. Yeah, so it'll be 5 hours, 153k, average 215 watts in the end, and just over 1,000 meters elevation gain. So not completely flat, but I'll get in, I'll rip the bibs off, and I'll chuck the running shoes on, and we'll head out. So it's just super easy, 20 minutes, just a little bit of time on the legs after some fatigue. Yeah, and just a slight volume builder as well throughout the week. So nothing hectic. We want to be careful still with the knee. So just a little run, just a little taster. Keep the body ready. How you doing? What are you doing in here? Didn't expect this kind of content, did ya? Man's got to make some money. Nah, you're enjoying me while I'm enjoying my cold shower because it is still toasty out there. Ran like 4.2k, I think, something like that. It was like 450s, nice and easy. Mentally, I just really try and put myself in the place of, in 7 weeks' time, I'm doing Ironman New Zealand, and it's what that's going to be like when you start the marathon. And for me, I think mentally a big thing is breaking the run up, right? So in a 70.3, I'll break it up into 5k segments and really just focus on the next 5k and getting to that turnaround point. And that kind of segmentation works really well mentally and helps you stay present in where you are, because I think particularly with a marathon and the Ironman, it's so easy to get into that and just be like, holy smokes, I have so far to go, and to really lose sight of where you are. And so I think a big thing is just segmentation. So I'll really be focusing on the next turnaround point and just where I am. And for me, I think meditation is a really thing that can help. And I was just thinking while I was out riding, is I think I'm going to make more of an effort to try maybe even do two 5-minute meditations a day, because I think they can be really, really beneficial for just helping stay in the present, and that is going to be so key for the Ironman. So I'm just going to finish my cold shower and we'll have a feed. Oh. Someone's had a tough day. This is my feed. It really isn't that much to look at, but damn, I make Look, I'm a pretty good cook, I'm not going to lie. It's just the gnocchi from the other night, chickpeas, some prosciutto, basil from our garden, cherry tomatoes, a ton of onion and garlic, and then I've just added some tins of tuna and some cheese on top as well. So just quickly, I wanted to be like, when you get back from a long ride like this, obviously I've eaten a lot of sugar today and just a lot of, I guess, rubbish, right? But our number one thing is not be in a calorie deficit. If you're in a calorie deficit, your muscles can't adapt and therefore you can't adapt to the training. So you need to make sure, like, obviously we don't want to put on weight, but it's pretty hard to put on weight if you're actually like doing proper training. Like if you're in the 10-hour range of training a week, then yeah, you need to be more careful what you eat because you will put on weight. But when you're training 20 hours plus and you're doing a lot of intense work in that, it's pretty hard to put on weight. So I've done a lot of periods where I have tracked calories and tracked, and so I know what I need to hit. I have a very good understanding of carb, protein, fat levels in different foods and stuff, but I don't track everything constantly because I don't think that's a healthy way to live. And yes, as I've mentioned even in this video previously, I've had some struggles with eating disorder stuff, and most of us being athletes like the idea of being lighter and leaner, and so it's very easy to then go, maybe I'll just eat a bit less. And anyway, I don't think it's a good way to be, but I would encourage those of you that don't have a good understanding of nutrition, or even if you do think you have a good understanding of nutrition, because I did before I started working with my nutritionist, and damn, that blew my mind a few years ago about how much I was actually under eating. So what I say that for is to go, okay, so we've done about 5.5 hours of training and I still need to go to the pool. So one actually odd fact is like, veggies make you full, right? The fiber in them, I'm pretty certain that's what it is. It makes you feel fuller, but we actually don't want to feel too full. Does that make sense? Because I've got to get to the pool, right, and still swim and feel okay. And another thing is, the key thing is carbs and protein right now. We need to recover and be able to perform in the next session. So that is the main priority right now, hence why I've added the tuna in. So I've got about 40 grams of protein in here. So then after the swim, we can get more veggies in, right? Because we're gonna have the night to process that. So yeah, I would encourage you, if you haven't seen a nutritionist, to go see a nutritionist, especially if you are training a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. Eat good foods, eat whole foods, eat a wide range of foods, and you should be pretty right. All right, I'm gonna quickly run through this week's training and next week's training to give you guys a bit of an idea of what it looks like at the moment. If you're not interested, fast forward a couple minutes and we'll be heading to the pool. But so Monday was a swim and a run, nothing too crazy. Tuesday we had a low cadence bike session. So it was 3 by 12 minutes at 55 RPM at 280 watts on 4 minutes rest between those, and then into 6 by 4 minutes at threshold with 2 minutes easy between. So if you've ever done like a low cadence into a threshold or low cadence into a high power session before, you'll know like how hard it can be when you've done the low cadence work properly to like get your power, get your RPM back up. Like for example, my last race that 70.3 I held 100 RPM. Like I tend to have quite a high cadence, and so just naturally. And so Cam's introduced these low cadence sessions in, and they've been so beneficial. Like they're really, really tough, but so I've seen the power development through them. This session's also a really good example of what I was talking about earlier today, about how when you know the purpose of the session and know the zone that you're trying to hit, it makes it much better than having a specific number. Because again, for me, like you tell me a number, I'm gonna go above the number because I'm too scared of going below the number. So, but when you know the purpose of the session, you can make sure you hit that. So the key for this session was the low cadence efforts. So that was the main thing. And then the threshold efforts, look, my threshold power, we work off about like 350 give or take. So for this, I set it to 350, but then I was like halfway through the low cadence work and I was like, oh, this is really fatiguing me. And so I dropped it down to 330 and I thought, for the threshold efforts, and I thought I can pick back up if I feel it. But no, that was all my legs had on the day. So that was a really good session. Definitely recommend them. We had a small run off the bike there, run super cruisy. Wednesday, 3-hour ride. We had 30 by 50s, swim, gym session. Yesterday was that run, the solid 5 by 2K gym session. Today's shenanigans. Then tomorrow we got another 2-hour easy ride, open water swim, death gym set. Sunday we go into a run, so we got 14 by 800s. So what is going to be my Ironman pace? So we're going to work towards 4:15s. We're going to train for 4:15s, right? So going to hopefully, that's what I can hold. That would be sub 3 hour. Like, I have the capacity to do that. I do have the capacity to do that. It's not unrealistic. I'm very capable of doing that. I'm just still cautious because I know I haven't had like a year under my belt. Then we got Monday, we got run, swim, gym. Tuesday is an over-under set, so this is going to be a pretty brutal session. And then we've got, I think, it's 5 by 10 minutes at Ironman intensity. So what's my Ironman bike power, I hear you ask. So we're going to work towards, I think I'm going to go for like 285 is going to be about what I train for. If I pushed anything under 270, it would be like a really bad day. Like, something's gone really wrong. Something's gone wrong. So I'm very capable of pushing 285 at the moment. That's what I'm going to train for. Hard run, swim, aerobic ride, gym session, long swim, gym session. Friday night I've also got a swim analysis, and then Saturday that long ride, and we're doing 4 by 20 minutes at the Ironman intensity, run off, swim, gym, and then we've got 16 by 800s at Ironman intensity, but it's actually 10 to 15 seconds below. So we'll run both Sundays this week, and next week we'll run them at 4 flats. So there you go. Now, what is the Savo swim? I hear you asking. So it's all a pretty easy swim, as you can see there. So 8 by 100s, 2 by 400s, drills to start with, and of course our always trusty 12 by 50, 12 strokes fast remainder easy, which are just so good for building that feel in the water. So there we go. Let's head to the pool. That's the swim done, crew. What a summer night. I don't know if you can hear, but the birds are chirping. It's just such a nice temperature now as the sun is starting to go down. Yeah, I felt really, really good. Like, that first lap was the best I have ever felt in the pool. Yeah, just like the way I was floating in the water, my strength, and just everything I feel like we've been working on, just like all of a sudden really, really clicked. And I know I've been saying that a lot lately about my swims, and it's because things are really starting to click. Have a look at this. Oh, piage. Yeah, so really happy. Swim went well. It was actually 3.1k. Still, you know, there was still some work in there, and again, that's, I think, what's been working really well is we're not doing any just sloppy swimming. It's like even the easy swimming is still got something in there, keeping things moving and keeping the form really strong. So yeah, really happy. It's been a good day. I'm happy with how like chill the days felt, you know, like that ride felt really easy. So that's like just really positive that the base is so solid that, you know, because we were only doing like 4-hour rides, but all my long rides, like the 4 hours, have had intervals in them for a long time now, as I've been doing 70, like in the 70.3 build, and then more recently been in my VO2 block. And now we're just kind of building it more to like a bigger, our bigger build, I guess, towards the Ironman, and more strength work and race specific work. So the rides are getting longer, and you know, it's good that I can do the 5 hour and it feels like nothing, and next week we step up to 5 hours with some Ironman efforts, and then I think the week after we're up to 6 hours and 6 hours with efforts. So yeah, I'm happy at how the body is going, and everything's really in the right direction, and I feel healthy. I'm able to recover. Been hitting sessions well, and yeah, just still absolutely hear the birds. I'm living the dream, crew. I'm absolutely living the dream. You guys have a good night. Thanks for joining me. See you at the next one, eh?